2019 has not been a good year for K-pop. With the recent passings of Sulli and now Goo Hara in just a span of 1 month, one thing is clear: K-pop needs to change, and fast. Now, if you've been following K-pop for any length of time, you know that K-pop is a tough industry, that K-pop idols are under the limelight and get their fair share of hate. Yet, I think with more and more K-pop stars that are under immense pressure, or unfortunately take their lives, that we have to start taking mental health seriously in the Korean music industry. So in this video, it's going to be a bit more serious. Now, in the majority of my videos, I try to stay objective as possible, or as neutral as possible, with my opinions inserted here and there. But in this video, it's going to be a lot more subjective. I'm going to add a lot of my opinions in this. And it's because of the recent passings of Sulli, as well as Goo Hara, as well as the other slimy stuff in K-pop. This topic hit me pretty hard. And as much as K-pop has changed many people's lives for the better, and it's really cool, that it does need some serious cleaning up. And if we want future idols to be healthy and have a good mental state, then a lot of things in the industry do need to be changed. And you know that when your non-K-pop friends or your casual K-pop friends come up to you and say, "Oh, is that the industry where a lot of K-pop idols take their lives or are seriously depressed?" as their first impression of K-pop, you know that's just a bad sign. And it's a really bad sign for the K-pop community in general. So with that being said, let's briefly talk about what happened to Sulli as well as Goo Hara and their recent passings, and how those two unfortunate events happened within just 1 month of each other.
The back-to-back passings of both these singers shook the K-pop world. Sulli, known for being an FX as well as an actress, and Goo Hara of Kara fame and branching into Japanese entertainment, were known to be close to each other. They referred to each other like sisters. Sulli passed away on October 14th, 2019, and it was widely believed that malicious and hateful comments from K-netizens were a big reason for her death, that Korean media and society shamed her for being more outspoken and doing actions that in the West, we really wouldn't care, such as featuring in a photo with no bra. She also talked about mental health, feminism, body positivity, and more, which in Korea, K-pop idols don't do. Instead, K-pop idols are expected to toe the company line. Sulli felt that she had to conform to the more rigid Korean conservative values, and she felt boxed in. After Sulli's death, Treja, Sulli's former boyfriend, got a lot of hate on his Instagram and blamed him for Sulli's death. Whereas Goo Hara passed away on November 24th, 2019, a mere 5 weeks after Sulli's death. Several months earlier, the K-pop world had a near scare in May when she almost took her life, but she was hospitalized and saved back then. Yet 6 months later, the K-pop world would lose yet another beloved idol. It was widely believed with a lot of evidence that Goo Hara suffered from the abuse of a former boyfriend, Choi Jung-bum, and there were many signs of major physical abuse as well as mental abuse. The icing on this was when Choi threatened to release an explicit video of them doing some intimate stuff after the breakup, with the aim of destroying her career and her sanity, aka blackmail. Now, to be fair, we must also look at Choi's response, as it complicates the situation. After getting a lot of heat from the public from Goo Hara's pictures of abuse, Choi released his own abuse photos, arguing that they both struck each other in an argument-turned-physical fight. He also argues that he didn't try blackmailing Goo Hara about the intimate video. He admits he only pressed send to Goo Hara out of anger, but didn't send the video to anyone else. Yet this admission still looks bad on him, since sending the video to Goo Hara also implied that he would later spread the video to others to ruin her career and control her. In the end, Choi was found guilty of physical assault, threatening behavior, unnecessary force, and property damages, but not guilty of sexual assault. He would be given a 1.5 years in prison with 3 years of probation. Yet fans of the singer wanted a harsher sentence on Choi, feeling that probation wasn't enough. That one of the reasons he wasn't given a harsher sentence is because he didn't have intent to harm her. At the time of this video, an appeal investigation is ongoing to see if Choi would be given a harsher sentence. After Goo Hara's death, many Koreans were furious towards Choi as they remembered those horrific photos of abuse from Choi and Goo Hara's fight. Public opinion would hate on the former boyfriend. Thus, the tag Choi Jung-bum Chulbol, or Punish Choi Jung-bum, would be one of the hottest trends on Twitter. Another belief of her passing was that when she was alive, she felt the pressure and stress from K-netizens. She just saw her close friend Sulli pass away a month earlier due to K-netizen comments, which would bring up my next point. K-pop fans, especially K-netizens, need to change if we want to prevent another Sulli or Goo Hara incident.
Now, before I go any further, I just want to have this disclaimer. It's not all K-netizens or Korean netizens that are toxic or horrible people. And I do have a lot of friends in Korea that are good K-netizens and are disgusted when they see their fellow Koreans as bad Korean netizens that say just vile and malicious stuff online. So if you're one of these good Korean netizens, I am not talking about you at all. I think you're awesome, and this video and this message is not for you. So with that being said, there's a lot of bad Korean netizens out there.
Most K-netizens say some malicious and mean stuff. If you don't understand Korean, consider yourself fortunate. Some of the stuff that they say on Naver Cafe blogs and other Korean websites about idols are truly disgusting. And while these offending K-netizens may say, well, international fans say mean stuff online too, I-netizens are no exception, and some can be just as bad as K-netizens, no doubt. But I'll say this. International fans have their limits. There's certain topics international fans won't touch, or these I-fans will bash an offending international fan if they do say something taboo. For instance, they won't degrade an idol for their looks or their race, or how an idol is fat even though they barely have any belly fat, or call idols to kill themselves, or how horrible of human beings they are for a bad performance. Also, since K-pop idols live in Korea, they're most exposed to Korean news, media, and comments, much like how you're more exposed to your own country's local news. Thus, the idols have a greater access to K-netizen comments than international ones, and many of these comments are brutal to their K-pop stars. They're extremely critical of K-pop idols. Now, if these K-netizen comments were constructive criticism where you show some tough love, but you have good solutions to bettering themselves, then yeah, I can understand where these K-netizens would be coming from. But most K-netizen comments don't resemble constructive criticism at all. They use idols as literal verbal punching bags and bash them because they can. They say mean stuff using anonymity with their online identities hidden, and again, because they can. They also spread lies and rumors about their favorite idol that damages their career, also known as libel, because they can. And this K-netizen culture of criticism needs to stop. Now, I always wondered why many K-netizens go out of their way to, well, hate K-pop idols, and I have some theories on this.
Now, I think one of the big reasons is the beliefs of cutting deep and being brutally honest, even if it's incredibly mean. Now, if you're Asian or grew up with Asian friends, you know exactly the Asian mentality, and it's really strict. So if you're too fat, your parents, as well as your relatives, will call you out and let you know that you're overweight right away. Of course, in Western society, weight is a pretty taboo subject, so you try to handle that topic with care. But in Asia, they'll just call you fat even if you're 2 kilograms overweight or 1 pound overweight. It's pretty crazy. Other things a lot of Asian parents and relatives do is criticize grades. A lot of Asian parents will call you stupid if you don't get straight A's. And of course, they'll always compare you to your more successful brothers or sisters or your relatives. Sometimes growing up as being Asian, especially with the high standards they have, is quite stressful. Now with K-netizens, they grow up with this pressure too in Korea, but the pressure is a lot more amped up than, say, growing up as an Asian American like how I did. They too have the pressure of getting high grades, being handsome or pretty, and being compared to their peers at all times. It goes without saying that younger K-netizens are constantly scolded by their teachers, while older K-netizens are constantly scolded by their bosses at work. So I made a video on this earlier called How Korea's Education Influences K-pop, and if you want to know a bit more detail on just the strictness of education, I highly suggest that you check out that video. So with all that being said, a lot of K-netizens have this pent-up stress, and to take out that stress, they take it out on K-idols.
K-pop idols and Asian idols in general are treated like punching bags. Unlike, say, in the West, where celebrities will lash out and speak their mind if pushed too far by the media or fans, K-pop idols aren't expected to do that. The standard for K-pop idols is to be perfect and to always be humble, even if thousands of nameless netizens rag you and slander you unfairly online. If K-pop idols speak out, they are blamed and shamed. In essence, K-pop idols are expected to just take the abuse online, with little to no protection from most mainstream K-pop labels. K-pop fans know this all too well and take advantage of this. They know they can get away with saying some vicious and mean stuff online, and nothing will happen to them. And that's because the laws to protect K-pop idols are very few and weak, as well as a culture that truly doesn't understand an idol's mental state and feelings. Some K-netizens also get this sadistic feeling and this kick when they hurt an idol, that they have to knock them down a peg or two, or that they can actually control someone as influential as an idol, because there's no way that K-netizens can control their teachers at school or bosses at work. In turn, the K-pop idol, since they can't fight back and are given very little protection, is the perfect target to control then. For the longest time, libel and slander weren't taken seriously against K-pop idols. Libel was only taken seriously against the big conglomerates, called chaebols, as well as politicians in Korea. Adding on to this, many K-netizens are jealous of K-pop idols, and they think they have this perfect, glamorous life.
But if you've been around K-pop for any length of time, you know that K-pop idols have it hard. Not to mention, they don't have a perfect life, right? They work 12 to 16 hours, they're constantly in the spotlight, and they constantly get criticized. And unless you're a top tier group, you'd be lucky to even break even as a K-pop idol. But many K-netizens overlook a lot of the hard work and just think that, gee, K-pop idols have it easy. It must be awesome being them because they have millions of followers on Instagram or millions of followers on Twitter. They're always on the spotlight. You always see them on Inkigayo and Music Bank and Melon and so forth. But again, these K-netizens just don't see the hard work that these idols go through to even become a trainee or debut. And it's easy for these K-netizens to think that these K-pop idols have this charmed life and just always be jealous of them. But I always say that instead of putting that hatred towards those K-pop idols, why don't you put that time that you're hating on them into improving your own life? Why don't you concentrate to be a better person? Which leads to my next point. I always felt that if you want to see someone improve, in this case a K-pop idol, you'd give them constructive criticism. You'd give them what you didn't like, and you'd give them solutions on how to get better. And if you have nothing good to say, it's like what you're taught when you're a kid, to not say anything bad about a person. Or if you don't like a particular K-pop idol or actor, it's just easy to not watch their videos or to just move on with your life. You don't have to leave these horrible comments that have no constructive criticism at all. But I guess for a lot of K-netizens to spread hate and just keep saying bad things on neighbor blogs just gives them joy. It's a really sick thing, and I think it's horrible. They need to hopefully find a better passion in life than to hate K-idols that way. I think cyberbullying by these K-netizens really needs to stop. There needs to be some kind of rules or punishments in place. But fortunately, there is something in the works that may curb online bullying in the near future.
The Sulli Act is a new proposed bill that was introduced in the wake of her suicide. So far, it has over 100 organizations and 200 celebrities that support the passing of this potential bill. The aim of this act is to stop cyberbullying towards celebrities and to punish any wrongdoers that step over the line. This bill would be brought to the National Assembly in December 2019, and he reports that clearly slander a celebrity's name and image will be punished by the law. And to do this, online users will have to use their real name. Now, it looks like the Sulli Act has some good intentions, but it has some major pitfalls as well. For one, how does the bill define malicious comments? Of course, there's the obvious, quote, kill yourself comments, but how about constructive criticism? Is that fair use? Will there also be certain words banned? This also brings the debate of free speech versus censorship. Also, how will the bill handle millions of comments online using their real name? While using people's real names could possibly curb malicious comments online, it also gives the government another powerful way to easily track commenters. Some even think that this new law would be unconstitutional and it would invade people's privacy. Nonetheless, it feels like no one is safe in K-pop. Just in the past decade, K-pop stars are constantly under attack through lies, online barbs, and even threats on their lives. In 2017, there was a death threat against Twice's Mina because, wait for it, it was rumored that she was in a relationship. Twice's label JYP did take quick action, tracking the fan and pursuing legal action. The fan posted a handwritten apology, and that was it for the fan. No punishment, nothing. This fan, ironically, did not know that a threatening letter would actually make Mina fearful and scared. And you really gotta wonder what this fan was thinking. But that's not all, because the next day, another K-pop group, A-Pink, would release their 6th album, and you would think it would be a time of celebration. We can't have good things in this world apparently, because an anonymous man called the Gangnam police station saying that he planned to stab the members. Wait, really? Yuck. The man was later found out to be an A-Pink fan, saying that he made the threat due to anger, but wasn't actually going to stab them. Another example happened nearly a decade ago with Epic High rapper Tablo. He would find himself in a malicious slandering campaigns by anti-fans that threatened not just him, but his family and all his friends associated with him. He was attacked by jealous K-netizens and hounded constantly in Korea. Forget this, going to Stanford and people thinking that he lied about it. To these haters, they can't fathom that a guy can graduate from a top university, get both his bachelor's and master's degrees faster than usual. Fortunately, Tablo had his name cleared once and for all when he went to Stanford for a Korean TV show to prove his degrees. Now, these past incidents are all horrible, and it's just the tip of the iceberg that shows how toxic K-netizens can be. They've been doing this since K-pop's been around. So you know there's a lot more incidents of K-pop stars' lives being affected by K-netizens, a lot of stories unpublished. Yet the world and Korean public started taking this toxicity much more seriously when SHINee singer Kim Jong-hyun would take his life in late 2017. His passing was widely believed to be of depression and the harsh spotlight of the K-pop industry. Junghyun's passing would put K-pop stars' suicides in world news and would trigger a rash of suicides and near suicides in just the past 3 years. It's truly tragic, and his suicide was a major shock to K-pop fans. And lastly, the suicides of Sulli and Goo Hara put notice on both Korea and the K-pop industry that things need to change. Is it any wonder that K-pop stars feel scared and distrustful of the general public? How any K-pop star could be the next target? But it goes further than just online slander and harassment, because K-pop singers are in danger of physical attacks as well. That's why these stars have a slew of bodyguards at all times at fan meetings, TV shows, and concerts. Some of these incidents include Yoon being attacked by a fan with vinegar in her eye. Her fellow Baby Vox member, Kang Daniel, was threatened from a fan with razors and a death threat because there was rumors that she was dating Moon Hee-jun. Former Super Junior singer Gang got a gift from a fan, a bloody cake with a photo of him being stabbed with a knife, and the cake had poisonous powder too. TVXQ's Yoonho got orange juice that had super glue in it and made him vomit before fainting. Big Bang had a scare when an EXO fan, or XOL, threatened a bombing at one of their concerts because the two groups had a similar release date. Mega group BTS and their member Jimin had multiple shooting threats in LA from presumably an international fan, with this person saying they'll shoot him, with which weapon, and saying some truly sickening, horrific thoughts. Between verbal threats online and physical attacks on idols, it's no wonder that a lot of idols keep their distance from both the fans and media.
Now, during my time as a journalist in Korea, I had the pleasure and honor of meeting a lot of K-pop idols. And I like to say this, there was no K-pop idol that I've met that has been a bad person. All of them have been awesome. But I will say this, there have been a few of them that were skeptical of me at first, that kept their distance away from me or didn't trust me at first. And you know what? I don't blame them. And the reason why wasn't because I was a bad person. It's because that a lot of these K-pop idols and their management staff get burned constantly by the media and or fans. They don't know whether that journalist will twist their words and put it in an interview that smears your artist, selectively edits a video and then puts it out there on YouTube and again smears your artist and company. But fortunately, we built up trust and eventually we got to know each other on a more deeper level and trust each other professionally.
K-pop labels have a big responsibility to protect their idols, but many fail to do this. While their idols take the heat, many K-pop companies will idly stand by on the sidelines, seeing their idols take a beating online. K-pop labels don't want to alienate their fans or step on toes by lashing out at these K-netizens. After all, many of these K-netizens give them money. Yet these very idols see that they're being left to dry by their own company for a bit more profit, rather than step in and protect them and threaten lawsuits on the offending parties. The government also plays a part in not protecting idols as well. The current laws in protecting K-pop idols are horrible. While there are laws that punish K-netizens against idols dating back to the 2000s, in reality, these laws do very little to protect them. This is even worse for K-pop female idols, who get shamed constantly for speaking out against the K-netizens, media, and being more open and expressive how they live. Korean society and the media also play a huge part in K-pop idol hate. You have a lot of media outlets like Dispatch that break celebrity news fast, and at times, they're not too bad. Yet I think they do cross over the line often when they send journalists to stalk celebrities and take videos and photos of their private life. And the reason why companies like Dispatch and one similar to them do this is because there's a lot of demand and money in Korea to stalk celebrities, dig up dirt on them, and expose them. And while I'm personally not a fan of gossip drama and rumors at all, most people love them some K-pop celebrity drama. You might be a huge fan of a particular idol or celebrity, and hey, if you know all their songs, follow them on Instagram and Twitter, and know their mannerisms, go for it. But when you overly obsess over an idol to the point where it puts them in danger, such as stalking, saying horrible comments for attention, or doing something crazy at a fan meetup, yeah, I think that's a little too far. These K-netizens and the media are indirectly harming idols, since they're not giving these idols any breathing space nor privacy.
So IU, one of the biggest songwriters / actresses in Korea, called out the media as well as K-netizens' bad behavior on her 2018 song, BbiBbi. And her thinking was, well, if I just can't go up to the media and just tell them how I feel about your just bad behavior and what you say to slander artists, then I'm just going to make a catchy song, dress it up as a pop song, diss the media and K-netizens in the song, and make it a #1 hit on Melon.
Having IU create a diss song was surprising at first, since she's known as one of the more upstanding and one of the most respected idols in the industry. IU's been reported in the past to hit bouts of depression, pressure and burnout in the K-pop industry, and many idols can relate to this, as a majority of them silently agree behind the scenes that they, the stars, take a beating from many K-netizens, fans, and media. So when a power singer like IU makes a statement with BbiBbi, others support her and are more encouraged to speak out on idol rights. Which brings me up to a next question. I've always wondered, why don't people care about these idols when they're alive? Why do they only care when they suddenly take their own life? The conversation starts after someone's passing, but I personally think that we should care while they're still alive and crying for help. Goo Hara's scare back in May made the general public care a bit more, but there were signs that Goo Hara, Sulli, and a lot more idols were suffering while they were still alive. Because of this news, one of Korea's biggest stars is burnt out and letting the public know. Kang Daniel announced that he'll be taking time off to recover and to get away from the entertainment machine for a while. In a recent post titled, "I Know Everything," he says that he knows that everyone is cursing him out and using malicious comments and judging his life. He had several other posts saying that he's tired of all the rumors, unwanted verbal abuse, and barbs that he receives for being in the spotlight. Kristen member Xion posted a message saying that she has to try living, even if her lungs are being squeezed. Former Kristen member Kyla would confirm later that Xion is doing okay. From the recent burnout of K-pop idols, it shows the Korean public just how serious overwork, burnout, and mental health is in the entertainment industry. K-pop idols can now echo how Kang Daniel and Xion feel. And you know, good for them. They know themselves well enough to step back if the stress gets too big for them. And if stepping back prevents another suicide, then I totally agree with this. You would think that with the recent deaths of Goo Hara and Sulli, that these fans would grow a conscience. To think, wait, maybe we shouldn't say such horrible stuff of these idols online. Or, what I'm doing is sickening, and I should stop doing this. But unfortunately, no. Many of these K-netizens continued to move on to their next target, their next victim, even after Goo Hara died, even after Sulli died, and that sickens me. In my opinion, it's going to take some strict, harsh laws to protect idols, as well as a complete culture change to respect K-pop idols in Korea and not treat them like punching bags. So if a K-netizen or fan is found to spread such libel or malicious rumors or comments on a K-pop idol, that they should get a harsh punishment, such as going to jail for a bit, or a large fine, or putting shame on them. And the concept of shame is huge in Korea, because as it stands now, no matter what these idols do, they can't win with the netizen public. The wave of K-netizen hate will continue, unless it's stopped with some action. Which brings me up to my final point, where I can't blame idols for getting out of the K-pop industry. The usual routine of a K-pop idol is to debut young in a group, get some fame, and then years later, they leave their group, or their group disbands. Some of these idols continue to sing in another label, some go to acting, while others live the life away from the spotlight and travel the world. And the more you learn about the details of a K-pop idol and how much abuse they take online as well as in person, you can't really blame them. Since many of these K-pop idols debuted so young, they lose out on their childhood and what it's really like to be a kid and teenager. Then once they debut, they get so much hate from everyone, as much of their life is scrutinized for the whole world to see. Being a K-pop idol is a profession that requires so much hate as part of the job. It's hard to ignore any kind of malicious comments when you simply hop online, turn on the TV, or read the news. Now some may argue, well, it's part of the job. K-pop idols should just suck it up. But I don't think that people that actually say this, that actually believe this, know what it's like to be, you know, a famous celebrity. Because unless you're someone that's constantly in the spotlight, such as a singer, actor, athlete, or these days, a popular streamer or YouTuber, these commenters have no clue how much hate these celebrities get. Because for the vast majority of people, they don't have the world watching every move of theirs, waiting for them to do something embarrassing or to fail. It feels like the only way idols can avoid the constant heat, avoid these hateful comments, is to live like a monk, or to leave the entertainment industry altogether and retreat somewhere to escape the unwanted hate. It's a life that very few idols want to live, as even the most thick-skinned idols will eventually get affected by the constant barbs from random K-netizens online.
So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'd like to know your guys' take in the comments below. And if you guys like what we do here at Pop Story, I'd be honored if you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you guys want real talk on K-pop, then please sign up for my free email list below and grab that free ebook. And I know the next video will be a lot happier and a lot more upbeat. So I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.